Welcome to the DudeFax podcast. We're four guys who in the past all served in the same youth ministry together. Now, more than 10 years later, 10 years older, but not really 10 years more mature, we felt it was time to join forces once again. So now we create weekly podcasts dealing with pop culture, ministry, and church life, and mixed all throughout is a healthy dose of the humor you would only expect from old youth pastors. So if you love Jesus, the local church, and laughter, you're going to fit right in. We encourage you to sit back, relax, grab an ice cold Dr. Pepper, and enjoy this week's episode of the DudeFax podcast. Happy birthday! Oh, drop mine.
Whose birthday is it?
It's David Cates' birthday. Happy birthday, David.
Yeah. We're glad we can have you on your birthday.
Yeah.
And wear party sombreros.
10 months away.
Is it a birthday if you're not wearing party sombreros?
No. It's the DudeFax birthday. We have waited all year for this.
I can't believe it's been a year. It's hard to believe.
How long?
Dang, Picklewood!
How long does it feel like it's been? I don't know. I mean, maybe 6 months, but to think it's been a year is kind of wild.
Yeah.
And it feels like just yesterday we were unraveling your pickle. And there he is. Getting a swole on behind you.
That opening intro to that first episode when it's just the feed and Grant says, hi. Y'all hadn't had an intro music yet. It's just complete cold.
Those early episodes are pretty.
Yeah, I think that first one just started with a hey.
Boycott Pokemon.
Yep. So
Starbucks.
So
Yeah.
for those listening, I mean, hopefully you guys know who this guy is, David, but we've referenced him so many times. Oh, he just got booted. Where'd he go? David's gone.
Having issues communicating with our servers.
Well, David was on the podcast.
We'll try to
Still
get him
alive.
back here.
Oh, there he
is.
is.
He's back.
Hey.
He's back. It could be that we're all in like
See, now I don't see anybody.
We don't see you either.
Right now, David's just black.
yeah.
David,
What up,
can you
homeboy?
see my pickle?
I can't see anything. Everybody's
Oh,
screens
man.
are black.
So you're probably still recording because I have the red button. It'll catch you, or the red light. So you know what I think the problem is. So we're in a room that will become our studio, but it has the worst internet signal in the house.
Oh.
So we may need to remedy
Good
that.
choice.
So
That's
maybe it's just that
probably-
seat.
It may be
because
'cause Brian
Brian was sitting there,
Yeah,
and he
Bad
went out
juju.
a few times.
it could be that seat. Maybe we should move David around somewhere.
Yeah.
See what happens. So we'll work on the internet.
But we do need to introduce David
Yes.
because David is a faithful podcast listener. He doesn't always comment publicly, but he comments privately quite a bit and gives us feedback. And we've been trying to get him on the show for like 10 months, and he's finally here.
We're here.
So, well, we're excited that he's here. And he is more prepared for this than we are because he listens more than we do.
Super fan.
Yeah, he knows more about this than we do. We've already figured
Yeah.
that out.
In the past year, I've heard y'all's voices more than I have Ted Nugent and Paul Stanley in my
Wow.
ear during work. I'd rather listen to y'all than Kiss.
Whoa,
That's
high
the highest praise.
From David, that's high praise.
So David was saying earlier, he's a listener. He's not a watcher on YouTube. So when Grant popped up on the screen, this was the first time that you've seen his pickle.
I thought he just had like a bowling alley sized pickle just in a jar in his garage.
I'm not sure. That might be better if it was just like a lone pickle in a jar, just constantly.
I mean, I think with it being that I've watched y'all clips, but because I listen, I think part of it that makes it funnier is a lot of y'all's facial expressions are just left up to imagination.
So it's probably better that you just listen
Yeah.
and not actually see it.
Well, it's one of those things maybe for like the people that listen only. If they're an interesting, fun person, then they like can make the podcast even better for themselves because they imagine us doing funnier things.
I didn't know till recently y'all did this. I thought y'all just all did like a Zoom call. I didn't know y'all were together.
Sometimes we
Sometimes do
we do it remote.
This is a big deal, David.
Yeah.
Grant,
I'm always
No
remote.
pickle pun intended.
you should find an excuse, Grant, to
You
pop
dang
back to
picklewood.
Tennessee and have him here in person.
To the CLV. I mean,
That's
if our
right.
birthday fundraiser keeps going like gangbusters like it is,
Yeah,
Can we add a plane ticket to the Amazon wish list?
I think we can.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
Hey, so speaking of that,
round trip, please.
One way. You're stuck.
Speaking of that, not the sloth sound, but the money, the thing. So we are celebrating our birthday by asking you to give us money, and it's the American way. So we hope that if you have not had a chance to participate, we do have an Amazon wish list, but really what we want to do is encourage you to give to the GoFundMe. That way we can buy the things that we need
Bag of
more
wolves.
than others, and then we work our way through. Because you can see we've got a place dedicated now for the podcast. We need to decorate it up and get better microphones.
Bag of wolves.
A bag of rolls. So please,
A bag of
Always
what?
have a bag of
Chaos got you covered.
we need Sarah McLachlan to sing
Yeah.
here.
I will remember you.
Yeah, Grant, can you look sad? In the arms
Can the pickle
of
frown?
the angel.
Wasn't there
I
a thing
could-
about that commercial? Like the money was not going towards animals.
Really?
great.
Really?
I'm
That's
pretty sure I
sad.
remember reading something about that.
Well, of course, it went
Yeah.
to people who worked with animals. Dogs can't spend money.
Remember Jim Gaffigan's
Ah.
bit about that? It's
A little
come on.
heavy-handed, Sarah.
Yeah. They're just dogs.
It says even the dog's like, that's a little heavy-handed.
My cat thinks he's in one of those commercials every time I have him feeding him in 2 seconds. So
Yeah. So
Ryan,
good times.
didn't you tell a story one time? I mean, we're telling stories on this podcast, and I don't know why this stands out, and I'm just now bringing it up. But you mentioned a cat, and I don't. It was from youth group days, or I think when you were interning at First Baptist. Did you run over a cat and like throw it over a cliff or something, and you heard it like
What?
moaning as you threw it off the cliff?
yes, so it was a very traumatic experience for me. So I didn't run over the cat.
Oh, okay.
The cat ran out in the road. It was when where was I working? I don't even think I was leaving work. I think I had been hanging out with some of the students at Starbucks after like Wednesday night service, and it was like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. I was headed back to the dorms at Austin P, and driving down the road. This black cat runs out in the middle of the road. I dodge it, but watch the car behind me in my rear view just nail it, and just runs right over it, and then just keeps going. Doesn't even care. So I'm an animal person, so I felt bad. Pulled over, went and checked to see if the cat was okay. It was like the whole. It was like ran over its midsection. It was pretty bad.
That's catastrophic.
And so it was 100% dead. And I remember, so I wrapped it up in like an old shirt I had in the back of my truck and put it like in the bed. And I called Thomas Murphy and I said, hey, do you know a place where I can bury a dead body?
Were you
Should have
explanation.
been stuffed.
And I thought I was joking at first, but then I explained the situation to him, and he was like, "No," but he was like, "There's this over by my house. There's this kind of like wooded area where there's like a creek bed where you can put him down over there." And it had like a guardrail and stuff, so it wasn't like I could go down there and like set the cat down. And so I just like tossed it over the guardrail.
How many feet are we talking?
I mean, probably a good like 10, 15 feet down is,
You should have put
drop.
it in the freezer in the youth kitchen for janitor Mike to find.
really terrify somebody.
I remember Gavin Akins and I went to the church one day. Joel gave us the master key to First Baptist Church.
Oh, that's good.
That makes
smart.
sense.
Like a quarter mile long in length. We had security was terrible. The alarm went off saying that authorities were on their way. They never came. But
It was Mike.
we go in the fridge to look for food. We're just using the stage to jam. And we find something that's hard as a rock. And it was Joel's rattlesnake that had been sitting in there for like 18 months at that point.
It hadn't yet been found by janitor Mike.
No.
We found a bunch of pizza rolls and ate them. And
In the freezer?
and the following Sunday,
Nice.
Gavin comes up. He said, Tad's in the kitchen furious because he said someone ate all the pizza rolls that he brought for that Sunday.
So Tad, if you're listening, that's
Yeah.
that's what happened.
The truth comes
David
out.
owes you
I
some
do
pizza
want to
rolls.
say this, very off topic, but I swear on the Bible, I had nothing to do with the dollop.
Mm.
Promise. The orphan boy. He wore blue on blue sweat.
I do
shirt and
remember he
pants.
had glasses.
Because
Oh, yeah.
that's the only outfit he left in the outfit he showed up in.
Yeah.
That
Well, and I
Every
think
day
that's
trip.
the only thing he ever came to. So I feel like he came just to leave
Just
the
to
turd.
drop that dollop.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. So Ryan, I don't know if you finished your story, but when you threw that cat off, what happened?
Yeah, well, so like when a body is dead, it the air it was breathing is like trapped in its lungs until that like comes out somehow. So when I did that, it was like enough force to like push the air out of the cat's lungs, and it was like it scarred me for a little while. And then to cap it all off, I was working. So this is when I worked at Lassiter's, and I remember I was working like a later in that week or maybe the next week, and these like kids come in and they're handing out flyers for their missing cat.
Oh.
And I look at the picture and it's the exact same cat,
Oh.
and I was like, oh my god! And I remember telling somebody, I was like, I can't tell these people. I was like, I just need to let them believe that their cat is alive and like ran away somewhere.
So
That's a great story.
So when I was in college, my neighbor's cat used to walk on my car because I'd see cat prints on the top of my car, and it drove me nuts because I mean every time I'd go wash it, I'd go out there to drive it, and there's cat prints all over it. Well, I had a sunroof, and I guess I left it open. And one night, this was back when Blockbuster was still a thing. I was going to Blockbuster Video, which was like a mile and a half from my house. I get in the car, I drive all the way to Blockbuster, not thinking anything. Well, I get into the parking lot and I hear this hissing in my back seat. The stupid cat crawled in through the sunroof and is in the back of my car. And it's like, and I'm like, hey, like, I don't want any trouble, cat. I'm just trying to go to
You're in
Blockbuster.
my car. Why
Yeah.
are you dissing at me?
But I open the door, the thing just takes off like a rocket. And I'm like, I don't know what to do at this point. The cat's gone. I mean, he just took off, and I never told my neighbor, so
No.
I'm sure they were looking for their cat.
Ryan, can I get a
This day.
live sloth?
Okay, I remember how to do it. Okay.
Because yours is so accurate compared to the clip.
I smell Heaven's Bakery cooking up something good for you, sister.
Oh, speaking of stories, we were going to share the story of how DudeFax got its name,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
not till the end of the episode.
That's right.
So
that's the teaser.
Yeah, it's been a year. No one has
Teaser.
figured it out. Dave got close. But yeah.
I don't know if I want to. I kind of want to preface it for
Okay.
anybody who might like take our show seriously and like respect our opinions on things. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, lower your expectations.
That was what David asked us coming onto the show, what it means, and we realized we still have not revealed it. Tad got close. He
got
was
really
scratching at the stall door, but never made it in.
So
Didn't your sister get close too, Jeff?
What's
Wasn't
that?
Amber pretty close? Amber was pretty close, wasn't she?
No, hers was too
no, she
serious.
said we were like all dudes and we're
Oh,
sending a fax.
We're
to
sending
God.
a fax
Yeah.
from God
That,
to people.
that actually made me feel
Yeah, no.
bad.
Because you're like, oh,
Like, now you make me feel
That's what we
guilty
should've
for what
done.
it actually
Yeah.
means.
That sounds
Yeah.
much better.
yeah. So hang out, end of the podcast.
Yep.
We are going to make Dave's birthday dreams come true.
You've made it 13 minutes in. You can make it a little bit longer.
Just remember we're friends, okay?
Yeah, and if you're this far, you probably don't have standards anyway. So you're going
right.
to make it.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
So we do
Side
have
note.
Dave here, who is. Am I crackling?
Wait, Grant, what?
Okay, that song, The Taste of Biscuit. Last night, I was very proud of this. We had some chicken stew Erica made that was very, very good with biscuits. And we're in the Northwest. Biscuits aren't as big as they are over there where you are. And Sigrid, my youngest, she's 4. She's running around singing Taste of Biscuit. I'm so proud. So proud.
Harley, you can't
Josh,
do that.
can you give me a little bit more?
Yeah.
Just wanted to be on the podcast.
Yeah, Harley's in here with us.
Harley-
we're rolling the dice.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
seeing
There he is,
that.
right here.
It's an honorary dude.
That's Harley. That's who you hear barking on the podcast sometimes.
Oh, so it wasn't a euphemism.
No, it was actually a dog.
She wanted to taste the biscuit.
It's a boy.
Oh, he wanted to taste the biscuit. I mean, I was thinking Harley. That sounds like a guy's name.
Well, I mean, he doesn't look like a boy anymore. If you get what I'm saying.
Well, maybe that's why I assumed.
He was
Empty coin pouch.
Yeah.
That's how I always check to like know what like to refer to someone as. Is I check their genitals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually animals.
Please
Animals
clip that.
better, yeah.
Clip
Yeah,
that.
that's- yeah. We mark
That one, Josh.
So speaking of memorable clips, Dave, we do have Dave here. I think Dave, because he has such a vast knowledge of, a lot of clips and quotes and all that good stuff, and he shared some of his favorite moments. Can you share some of your favorite DudeFax moments of the last year?
Favorite episode is the one with Tyler. Y'all were doing the
Yes.
Uranus facts. It was Jeff talking about
Bag of wolves
on Uranus, and it was his laugh when he broke because someone hit a button, and it was the one. I don't want to boom the mic, but it's the toilet bowl echo part.
Oh.
On the serious side, really interesting. I'd never thought of it that way. Never thought about it at all. Period. That one.
Oh,
That one, yeah. It's got a good echo. So that was all the Uranus jokes? Is that what you said?
Uranus jokes. I like Lent. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think there's an episode
That's
I
a
don't like.
wide spectrum there.
Yeah.
From
I mean, the funny part,
Yeah.
no, Uranus, but the other part.
I was saying there's a big difference between the long distance between Uranus and Lent.
Yes.
They're far spread apart.
I mean, there
There's
is
frequently
Lent
Lent in my Uranus. Yes.
Speaking of Lent, earlier today I was singing in my head that video I sent you guys last night. I was talking about Lent. Why is it? It's escaping my mind right now, but it was stuck in my head all morning.
The cod.
Yeah,
Our cod is an
our-
awesome cod.
Our cod is an awesome cod. It's fried.
That was good.
Yeah, the Lent one was we had really studied for that one.
Yeah.
And we're deeply
It was a
prepared,
busy
so
day.
glad you learned from it.
I mean, I knew what it was and kind of knew the purpose behind it, but I'd never ever entertained the thought.
Yeah, I think all of us are kind of that way.
Yeah.
Coming into it, which I think was interesting about that episode because we are all people who have vague experiences with Lent, but we're not people who have actively really practiced in it regularly and as part of our normal religious practices.
So if the people that see it not as a good idea, but as a requirement, what supposedly do they think will happen if they don't?
Well, I think, Josh, you were mentioning Bridget, who grew up Catholic, that they have to go to confession, right?
Yeah.
If they don't.
What if they don't?
And apparently they're
You're going to hell, buddy.
damned.
I might be speaking out of turn here because I'm not Catholic and I don't know their beliefs like the back of my hand, but I believe that Catholics, if they that's one of the reasons last rites is done when when a Catholic passes. Is because it's basically their last confession or of absolute.
I mean, I would
sins.
feel I would be constantly, every time I did anything, got sideways with somebody or said something, a mean word in traffic. I'm like, oh God, I gotta go.
Jesus, Juke.
You could also be not Irish, or Irish too, but also Italian mafioso. They're all Catholic, I believe.
Typically.
They do a lot worse than some people.
Well, and this would be interesting to ask since David's here, but I was raised Presbyterian and still Protestant, but higher church than most Baptists or non-denominational. They have more liturgy, defined liturgy than a lot of traditions. And I found that higher church traditions with things like Lent, if they're in the habit of Lent, or an Ash Wednesday service, they seem to be really meaningful for people who didn't grow up with it, where I feel in a lot of ways freed from it. sort of in my practice. Like I get it, and I understand the church's tradition with it and how often it was used, especially when a lot of new converts were baptized on Easter as a way to give up the ways of the world leading up to their baptism, which in the Catholic Church, that's one of the ways they participate in the treasury of merits, to whom or to which the Pope holds the keys, and how they participate in salvation is different than ours. But for you guys and for David, like, do you feel like early church traditions or more liturgical things are more meaningful since you weren't raised with them? So is it partly the newness or a new way of thinking?
I'm just thinking, why are we talking about this right now?
Because Dave's here. It's interesting.
I'm thinking that I mentioned on the Lent episode that I'm participating in Lent because I'm not eating sweets, and Josh brought cupcakes for the birthday. So now I have to watch these guys
Sunday,
eat cupcakes.
Though. You have the freedom in Christ to eat a cupcake.
So, yeah.
We do have cupcakes. And Grant, that's a great point. Yes, I do find those things more meaningful because of my upbringing.
I think I do as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. So, yeah, we got some cupcakes. It's not for us, really. It's for the podcast.
You know what?
Grant, I wish you were here.
Did not do. I did.
Yeah, I'm just loving my dude wipes.
Yeah, I used a dude wipe in your honor.
So, Josh,
thank you.
Did your camera freeze? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on here?
Is it choppy?
Your recordings, I'm sure, it's fine. It's just ours.
Yeah.
Can you hit
Our view of you.
So if anyone wants a cupcake, yeah, there's
Can you pass me a Coke Zero, sir?
yeah, I can. Yeah, we're partying here at the DudeFax.
Watch out.
Cupcakes and Coke Zeros.
Take all the sugar
You
out.
need to make sure and open it in the microphone.
So
so that
you can have
sound.
yeah, you can have a cupcake
Yeah.
because the Coke has no sugar. I mean, it has cancer-causing sweetener. But
I want our people that listen exclusively to be able to just like experience the cupcake a little.
can this be a cupcake sommelier?
Yeah, are you drinking anything tonight?
What?
Do y'all not do that every episode?
No, not every episode.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Listen tomorrow. Well, if you're listening to this, it's already aired, but tomorrow.
Okay.
Do you want to
Ryan drinks some toxic waste.
Oh yeah. Well, my wife specifically told me before I came here to not drink any weird sodas.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Mainly, I'm probably ruining it with this, but it's mainly because I've been doing some faxing myself.
But I feel like
this afternoon.
I feel like we might need some cupcake eating music here.
Tunage.
Yeah, let me find just.
But
the
also,
right-
Ryan, eat it very close to your microphone.
Oh
Like,
no, yeah,
awkward
they gotta
and
get
close.
the mouse sounds.
You're welcome, DudeFax.
That was our birthday gift.
Yeah.
That's
to
for all
you.
our loyal listeners.
That's your party favor.
So do we have any favorite moments? We've heard some of Dave's. Dave or David? What should I be saying? Is you don't care? Okay.
It's like 50-50 with people.
Okay.
David.
If you're in trouble, what does your mom say?
David Charles.
David Charles. Okay.
DC.
What does your wife say if you're in trouble?
Dive. She went to Central.
Oh.
She lived in Erin. So
She just can't help it.
dive.
And for you non-Clarksvillians, Aaron is spelled Aaron, but most people call it Erin. Is that right?
Correct.
Aaron.
Were they the ones that like 2 years ago had a random flash flood that killed a bunch of people?
I thought that.
Oh, I
I think
don't
that
know.
was like more towards like Dixon.
Waverly.
Waverly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I had a W.
So it's, yeah, other side of Aaron, like even farther.
I get them all the Cumberlands and Furnaces. I get. They're all the same to me.
Yeah.
One of my absolute favorite, and I actually pulled it here to show a little bit of it. I love the first few minutes of episode 1. It just I just laugh at it all the time.
So it's all been downhill. from
and
there.
it's really been all downhill. So I just maybe we should just I'm going to screen share this so we can see it off YouTube. And I just love this moment, and I think it's fitting share this on our
Spy
birthday.
balloons. That was a good one.
We begin now.
When did we do an episode on veganism?
Yeah, I know we've touched on it before.
Crazy ways.
Is that it, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
No, okay. I was trying to get the.
I'm glad
because
you
it's got
pulled up
this
episode
intro.
1 because at least it has 155 views.
Hey,
Just
We begin now.
The original song.
All right. Hey, we want to welcome everybody to the very first episode of the DudeFax podcast. We want to thank all three of you for listening. That would be all of our moms except mine. But no, we are excited to get this journey started. It's something that we have talked about for days, and and we're excited for it. My name is Josh, and I'm here with three friends of mine. All four of us serve together in ministry.
all right. That's enough of that. But I do like the intro in that. I wonder if we moved on from that too quick.
Yeah, I think we need to bring it back.
Yeah.
I was
good.
thinking, I was like, man, I haven't heard this song in forever. Kind of like a year.
Since episode 1.
since our
I
birthday.
mean, we used it a couple times after that.
So I love all the interaction we get from people, and Dave being one of those. I really think that's my favorite, is when we post stuff and people respond, whether it be serious or funny, or we just purposely antagonize people of different ilks, like the flat earthers.
Flat
Yeah.
Earther interactions on
Oh yeah.
social media
Yeah.
have been very fun.
But speaking of that, Seco, as we've talked about and referenced so much, the previous episode with Brian Reeves, we talked about the Jordan LeBron debate once again, and Seco did get back to us.
Oh.
Of course, he's DMing us now, but
What does he think we're that close?
I think we should share it.
Okay.
I guess so.
It's time for comments.
Do you have it pulled up, Ryan, or do I? Need
Oh
to
yeah,
share
no,
it?
I do.
Okay. I'll let Ryan. I want to
forgot I
steal
did
Ryan's
that.
thunder.
You can have my lightning. I want the thunder though. Okay, yeah. So Seco said in response to our comments on that, I think we all pretty much unanimously on that episode we're dogging on LeBron. He said it's a team sport. There isn't a better overall player than LeBron, and LeBron. This is worded kind of weird, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what he means here, but he says then, and LeBron at 4, guy has to be 65 plus to have that opinion. Okay, I see what he's saying at number 4. Thanks for the shout out. Hope y'all are doing great. The heart emoji. So
what's he calling Brian 65?
yeah, he said to
At
put
least 65.
LeBron at 4.
At 4, I see. Yeah.
Or just somebody who really loves the game of basketball and not just the game of basketball that they are currently watching.
Just so you know, you're arguing against a guy who makes a living analyzing basketball.
Yeah. So we were talking before the show about what Seco looks like, because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave shared an interesting theory. I think we should just go around the room and up to Washington and get everybody's take on what he looks like.
I think you live in Winnipeg, Canada. 5'5", $120, Asian.
Okay.
From Winnipeg.
Winnipeg,
Canadian
don't you know?
Just sounded right.
There's a lot of Asian people who live in Canada. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we've joked about how we've is LeBron's burner account common. I don't think it's LeBron. I think it's Anthony Davis's burner account, and he's defending LeBron. because he has nothing better to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I see where Dave's coming from. But maybe this is like, the guy that was on the rival basketball team in high school for whatever team LeBron played on. So he may be like 6'8", 220, power forward, center, whatever, big, tall, black guy. He just could never beat LeBron. And he's like, all right, he's the best. I have to act like he's the best because he beat me, right? So I'm always going to say the reason we couldn't beat him is because he's number one. It's a guy living in denial. That's what I'm saying. And that's not a river in Egypt.
I was going to say he lives in Egypt.
Or it is.
I think here's my controversial opinion. I think Seiko might be a woman.
Oh.
You guys remember LaFonda from Napoleon Dynamite? That's what I picture Seiko. Yeah, LaFonda.
It's actually LaFonda.
Well,
Maybe it is LaFonda.
Yeah,
I wonder how he
I was
even
thinking along the
came
same
across
lines.
Seiko.
Oh, wait, Grant, what?
Yeah, I was thinking that she also, I think that she is the type of lady to fight over a Stanley Cup when they release a new color. That's why I imagine Seiko being.
So, Seiko, here's the thing. If you're none of those,
Prove it.
we'd love to know.
Yeah,
I think we need a Seiko face reveal.
We might.
we do.
We need to have
Maybe
him
our
on.
2-year.
All right.
Leave something in the comments, like 5 random facts, where you live,
Yes.
maybe a selfie.
But then also one fake fact, and then we have to.
You would
guess
have to
which
pick
one's
it.
the
Ooh,
fake.
yeah.
That's good.
How about that? We'll challenge every listener to share 5 facts about yourself, but one of them's fake, and then we have to guess.
We'll have to pick it. Yeah.
So
5
Seiko,
truths and a lie.
specifically you.
And if we get stumped, what do they get?
Cupcake?
A cupcake. All right. If we have any cupcakes left, you can
We'll
come and
box
have
it up
one.
and mail it to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you can have it. That's a great
well,
prize.
Yeah.
We'll get a flat rate envelope from the UPS
Just roll
or
it out.
USPS
Okay.
and stuff it in there.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll
What can
probably
Brown
rip the
do for
icing
you?
off first. They'll probably ship better that way.
Yeah, and I like ice.
Wait, it'll what better?
That's what I heard, Grant. I heard it too.
Thank you.
Hey, this episode hopefully one day sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Yeah.
That's what
Do y'all remember
Sponsored by Kmart.
that Kmart? Yeah. I shit my pants.
Oh,
Yeah. I just shit my
pants
drawers.
Oh, man.
And I helped him ship his pants.
Those were good.
Bag of wolves.
Commercials were wild in the mid 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I remember there was one. This was back when you could still advertise cigarettes. And this guy was telling his family goodbye, getting in the car. He tosses his cigarette, hits some gasoline, blows the car up, blows him back. So his family just exploded. And he says, the camera comes down on him and he says, smoking kills, but it feels good. His family just died.
Amen.
Yeah.
Are you sure that wasn't Saturday Night Live?
No, it was in one of my health courses in college.
Oh, wow.
It's a PSA.
Yeah.
So we will put your controversial ads on the DudeFax. So,
Yeah. We're all over it.
yeah, all you companies get
Oh,
creative.
David, to answer your question, I think the reason that we're having this back and forth with Seiko is because I'm pretty sure that's how we got introduced to him, was on a video about Jordan versus LeBron. And he was very passionate at that time.
Her.
Yes. I think it's Anthony Davis. So.
Her.
Yeah, that was just a video that went out on TikTok, and he came across it, and now he's
Dave
a loyal listener.
Yep. Or at least loyal viewer.
Or
of
he just
TikToks.
sees things we tag him in.
That's good. Sometimes our hashtags work. Flat Earthers,
Yeah.
Jordan versus LeBron. We'll get some highly passionate people to get on there and just comment.
Yeah.
So.
Surely it's clear why I comment privately half of
Yes.
the time.
Why?
Go back in the text, in the history.
Yeah, usually.
We want that to be public.
We'll start reading those on air.
A little too far. Cross the
Add
line.
David to the comments weekly.
Yeah.
Well, so we do want to talk a little bit in this episode as we're celebrating our birthday on why we do what we do, why we do the podcast, and kind of what we hope to see coming from it over the next year and the time ahead. So we're gonna move that direction, unless you guys have anything else amazing about our podcast that you want to share at this point. If not, maybe we just grab a quick break here, and then we will be right back, and we're gonna get serious.
Hello?
Happy birthday.
Dude, it's like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I know. Happy birthday, man.
It's not my birthday.
Hello? Ryan, happy birthday.
Yeah, it's not my birthday.
That is ticklish. Hey, I'm just playing with my pickle. What's up?
Happy birthday, buddy.
It's not my birthday.
Hey friends, believe it or not, but the DudeFax is one. That's right, it's our birthday, and we're going to celebrate during our 52nd episode on March 11, and we want you to celebrate with us. There's 2 ways you can do that. 1, watch, listen, be a part of the episode. And number 2, buy us a gift. That's what you do on birthdays. Come on, man. You can check out our Amazon wish list. We got that information here, and our GoFundMe. There are things that we want to be able to purchase that are going to take the podcast to the next level and improve your listening and watching experience with it. Thanks so much for being such a great partner this last year. We look forward to seeing what we might get from you on our birthday, and we definitely look forward to hanging out with you a whole other year coming up.
We're back, and man, that was a great break.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did. It was wonderful.
It was.
Yeah, the
Good times.
the head massage was really nice. Good times.
Yeah, we should have David here more often.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
That's all
Thanks,
I had
Dave.
to say.
Appreciate that.
Grant, if you were here, I could sauce your pickle for you if you'd bring it.
Ooh.
Hey, this is a serious part of the episode.
Oh, that's right.
That pickle is very serious.
Bruh.
He got happier. I don't know if you can see that.
So, it just got me distracted. Yeah, so we wanted to talk about for a few minutes just why we do the podcast, and it is a lot of fun. We love doing that. We love joking around and laughing, but there's so much more to why we do this than just the silliness, and we hope that we do hope that it helps you laugh and enjoy your day, and things like that, just to have something fun to listen to. But at the same time, we want it to hopefully be meaningful in some way and give you something to think about or to process. So we'd love to hear any of your stories on that. If there's been a way that the podcast has been an encouragement, we'd love to hear that. But we wanted just to take some time to share a little bit about why we started this and why we're still doing it a year later. So anybody want to if you guys want to jump in, Grant, and begin on that? Or
Yeah, 2 primary reasons. One is just fun. I think we shared this in our very first episode that, if something good happens in our lives, like this dumb text thread that we've had for years and years, like that's one of the first things I let know is you guys, hey, this happened, pray for this, silly memes and stuff. It's just fun. But secondly, to make people think. I think we can go through our lives nominally, just I am what I am and I do what I do. And well, let's just think about that. Kind of the philosopher Socrates, when he said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Let's examine some stuff, dudes.
I think mine's in a very similar vein. So definitely the first part, I definitely 100% agree on where, humor is a big reason. I like doing this podcast and doing it with this group. You guys we've had plenty of back and forth over the years. But also, I really like being able to discuss the things that we believe. And, I feel like a good thing the thing that kind of drove me to wanting to do this podcast with you guys that I think we talked about before we actually recorded the first one was that I wanted to be able to kind of talk about the things that I agree with and don't agree with, and Christian culture is something that I think a lot of people don't think about, and that they don't think about the reason why they believe the things they believe. And I think it's important that we discuss those things, and I like being able to discuss those with you guys, and also, our listeners, and if we can make somebody think about something in a way they haven't before, and just encourage that kind of discussion to dig deeper into things and not just not just take things at face value.
I have always liked, and it doesn't happen all the time, but y'all aren't afraid to tell each other if you disagree or don't see eye to eye on something. So I feel like it would take away if you just all just kept it simple and like agreed with it.
Yeah, we've had that conversation a couple times, depending on the topic, that it's good if there's a little difference.
It just makes it more authentic, seeming.
And interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And then we really get to like shun each other during the next week, and then we apologize and make up.
What do you think the biggest thing we've disagreed on is, though? Before we get off of it,
I don't know.
Do you remember a time, David, or anyone?
If you give me a second, it was you and Josh that disagreed on something.
Oh,
flat Earth.
Yeah,
it was something. It was the serious side of the episode. I just can't remember what it was.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, let's make sure we rehash that.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
All right.
So
You're saying,
I some of the things I'm passionate about as just a person, but obviously a Christ follower, is one, just letting people know about Jesus and the joy that it is, but specifically in interacting with other people of the church. It's one, to encourage believers to think, and sometimes to listen a whole lot more before we speak up and speak out. And then humor. And so those two things I think have been part of the driving force. Obviously Jesus ultimately, because, I know there are people who aren't believers that listen to this, and I want them to know the love of Jesus. But I like to blog, I like to write, I like to put things on social media, but I've also realized that's only like a one-way conversation a lot of times. People will respond in the comments and write back, but a lot of times they're not seeing the nonverbal communication that goes on in that conversation. They don't know the full context oftentimes when they read a blip on social media in a blog or a post. And so I think Josh and I talked a little bit about that before we started doing this. Is this kind of gives us an opportunity to hash out more of the conversation and just to share it. And I think invites people in who may not agree with us or who might think differently to hear the entire story and a little bit more of the context. Yes, you're still only getting part of the story. Obviously, you don't live with this day in and day out, but I do think this is an opportunity to have more of that conversation flesh itself out. And really, again, like you guys have already said, it's to encourage people to think about things. I mean, it's helped me think about things. Case in point is that he gets us ads. It's one of those that just having that podcast episode and just really trying to read into things and understand where people are coming from every side of the table on that argument. It's helped me sort of had a more roundabout approach to how to view things, and specifically how to view things biblically. And then the humor piece, because obviously we take ourselves way too seriously as Christians, and not that we, obviously we should, this is serious work, but we oftentimes present ourselves in a very stuffy, non-joyful way when Scripture calls us to live in joy. I mean, we are called through a relationship with Christ. Paul talks about it all over the place. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. And so I love that we've had this group, this text group, for 15 years, and we share humor and stories and all that. And now it's coming to life. And so we're getting to share that with the rest of the world. And I think that's part of it, is we knew just being able to be encouraged via this Facebook thread that this is hilarious, this is great. Why aren't we involving more people with it? Let's do it through this podcast.
Yeah, and I agree with everything that, like, all those reasons, everything that you said. Of course, say it again. If you could go and read through like that decade's worth of messaging that we had back and forth, you may never sleep again, because it's just great. So much fun, so much sharing of life, and I just remember, like, I don't know if I texted Jeff or what, but I had said something about, hey, I'm thinking about the podcast. And I think you had said, hey, I'm thinking about, and we started talking like, well, we have to have Ryan and Grant in it. And there is a cool, relational thing here with these guys. But another thing that was a part of that, for me, I was coming out of just a weird time in life. And I was thinking there's so much that I want to be able to kind of process out. I'm a verbal processor, and I thought, well, maybe there's something good to share, or it'll help in this way or the other. And I've actually felt that like I've benefited a whole lot from this. One, just to be reminded that, I'm not alone in life, and there's other guys around that love and care, and we're all kind of walking through the same stuff, and we're trying to honor the same Lord and trying to figure that out. But even when we get into a specific topic, like prepping for that stuff, think, oh, I need to really figure out what I think about this. And so I know on a lot of things like that, it's been really beneficial, at least to me. I'm sure for you guys as well. Dave, you've shared some things with us, just over the last year. You'll send us a message here or there. Mm-hmm. How has a podcast, other than just entertainment or laughter, like, how's it benefited you?
So the entertainment part, great, but what's the verse? Whatever's pure, holy, yada yada. Mm-hmm. Dwell on
Philippians 4:8.
Just having y'all in my ear 3 or 4 hours a day, sometimes more. I naturally find myself doing that, like throughout the driving down the road. Like, other than just thinking about it Sunday afternoon, it's kind of 24/7 now. Not 24/7, but much more often than a year ago. Mm-hmm.
Praise God.
That's awesome. We know that we're not the spiritual answer to everything, but that hearing things like that, and even what Brian shared last week, it's encouraging to us that we hope that we are accomplishing that. Grant, did you answer this question yet? Did you answer why?
I think
he was the first.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I have short-term memory issues. I love hearing those stories. Of, hey, yeah, this really challenged me. I really thought about this. As much as I love hearing, man, that was hilarious. They're all good.
I love when I talk to people that I know that, listen to us. It's encouraging to hear them, say like, hey, you guys were talking about this topic and it was actually really interesting and it made me really think about it. Like that. That's always good to hear, because I think that's kind of our goal here is to not talk at people, but we just want to encourage people to think and to, discuss with each other, and, to not have, our faith is living our faith in a communal sense is important. And I think that we, hopefully help people do that and, think about those things.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see us continue to do those things. And obviously I know we have other thoughts and goals for the podcast as well, whether it be creating our own space and getting things out there more. But I think more than anything, more than getting more followers or video clicks or whatever, it's just hearing those stories, not just to feed the ego or anything, but just to see what God is doing in the hearts and lives of people. And to me, it's even more encouraging with people we know sharing that, because we know you more, David. So hearing testimony from you, I think it's even more special than the random person out there who just shares something. But I love seeing God at work, and just to know that he could use something as silly oftentimes as this, and really just kind of confirm that we didn't just start doing this just to start doing it, but that God wanted to use it, and we can't even fully fathom all the ways in which he wants to use it. I hope we can continue to see that and also be very intentional about some of the things that we do so that we can honor him, as we continue to have fun with this, I think.
Yeah. And thinking about the future, the numbers thing and growing, I think it's cool if we learn we're getting more listeners and more engagement, because we do want it to spread. Like we want to communicate who Jesus is. And so the more that can hear that, the better. And so there are some things that we hope to be able to put into place going forward. And if we're going to continue to podcast, we want it to be the best it can be. We don't want technical things to be a distraction, and we want it to be something that looks like we have really thought through this, and we're trying to really present the King well. So we've joked about donating towards towards the podcast and all but if this has been something that has encouraged you or you've learned from, would you please consider that? There are several things that we would like to be able to think through doing and adding in that I really believe will help us in that journey of maybe getting the word out to more and more people. And if you can't, we get it. Be praying for the podcast, and mainly that we would have clarity over what God wants us to talk about and how we should do what we do and do the podcast. I think we view this even as a place of ministry and service for us. And I will tell you, if you give anything, like it doesn't go to us. Like we do this because we love doing it. We all have jobs. We're good there.
Have you guys not been getting the royalty checks? Have those just been coming to me?
No. Well, they're for the pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every appearance at the pickle.
It's for the pickle.
Nope. No comment here, then.
Yep. Oh, we do buy Coke Zeros and Dr. Pepper Zeros with whatever comes in. So, yeah. Let us know what your story is with the podcast. How did you come across it? Why have you stuck with it? And what would you like us to talk about? What would be something interesting to you for us to discuss? And make sure that if you're not, hit us up on all the socials. You're either on Spotify or one of the podcast forums, or you're on YouTube right now. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and now also on X, Twitter, 10, just one X.
Roman numeral 10, baby.
For more. Yeah, that's right. All at DudeFax Podcast. You can find us on all those places there. So jump on,
even tell
follow,
us,
like, share.
In the comments, write who your favorite podcaster is, and then tell us why it's Ryan.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
That's a great idea, Grant. I'll go ahead and start doing mine.
I've got an episode topic suggestion.
Ooh, yes.
How to cultivate a softer heart, like continually getting a softer heart in a good way, like a strong soft heart.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
People never preach on that. I don't feel like, but I would like it.
Okay.
Especially for men, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not a virtue that we hold up for men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talk a lot about why men don't sing during worship, but it goes beyond that. But yeah, I think it's a great topic.
I think that's a great topic. Yeah. All right, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Thanks, Dave.
And if my father can sing during worship, he cannot carry a tune in a bucket.
Anybody
can.
And another one that would be cool. I don't think y'all.
My dad's dead.
But, witnessing. I don't think y'all
like how to witness, or
like tips and tricks.
Okay.
Because I've run
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that. I like it.
Yeah, it's great. We love hearing that stuff because we really want to talk about what is interesting you, and where you have questions and thoughts. We can come up with stuff, and we have a list of things to work through, but we'd much rather know what you're interested in than that. So
I would say for stuff like that, topics and whatnot, but also for we're asking for people to please, if they can give or don't, buy something for us. All of that is for the people that listen to us. It's not for us.
Yeah.
It's to make this a better experience for the people that are tuning in, and we we want to make this a better production for those people.
And just by the room alone, it's obviously not a cheap thing to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Brandy has one of these. I know those aren't cheap.
Well, up until this point, we have been so blessed. Most everything in here is on loan.
Mhm.
And I mean, the podcast
keep the
studio
pickle, though, right?
box here. Yeah, the pickle is high value. But so much of what we have, somebody has donated and let us use, and it's been
Even
fantastic.
Coke Zero.
And Coke Zeros. But you're right, Dave.
It's not
It's not cheap. We probably need to spend another $300 in mics, and we need some lighting. And we'd like to improve what we do with video. There's just so many things there. So yeah, we would be honored to receive anything that you give. It would be a blessing to us. Definitely.
Everyone in here knows, because everyone in here plays an instrument. With that stuff, you get what you pay.
Yeah.
And it's like, to get something decent is hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Like I've got a $50 mic I bought at AT&T. Terrible. Can't even, it's got latency like 5 seconds. Like, hello? It just sucks.
Yeah. That's how it is. Thanks for speaking to that as well.
It's not cheap.
Because we can go cheap, but
But hey,
what you pay for.
we haven't mentioned this in a while, but things to look forward to. CLV2
yes,
is
it's
getting
coming.
closer.
That's right.
I have a confession. When I first watched that on Jumbotron,
On the Jumbotron.
or not Jumbotron, but
the screen.
church. That was the cringiest videos.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
See,
Because it's a 931, baby.
I had the idea that y'all really thought it was cool, but
Yeah.
now they probably did it because they know it's super cheesy, and they probably get a kick out of coming off as just goofy adults.
I think
That's
that high school and middle school students, it's natural for them to think like, oh, they're just trying to be cool. For us, like, no, we're just being big nerds.
Yeah.
I remember thinking Jeff was trying to be cool with the shirt he had had cow nipples on it and said, "Word to your udder."
How is that shirt not cool? That's
Yeah.
my question.
We thought that was in. That's what all the kids were wearing.
Yeah, that was just. I had
I
that
have-
shirt for like 10 years.
Very, very random, vague memories. Like Josh's first year, I was in 8th grade. I had a shirt on with a guy pulling a driver out of a golf bag, and it said, "When in doubt, whip it out." And you walked by and you read it, and you're like, "That's interesting." You were in a very bad mood that night.
Bag of wolves.
It was some busy event, and we had raided the kitchen. You were furious.
Yeah.
I think this was when you were running the show solo.
You were older than that at that point, because that was after Joel would have taken off.
It was in the activities building, though.
It was in the activities. Okay, it may have been like right after I came in, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there was a point in time after Sean Lowry left.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we were. Yeah, I probably was. I think we were all ticked off during some of that time. Honestly,
I loved it all.
we loved everything about the student ministry, like the students, for the most part, except for when David wore that shirt.
Not trying to be biased, but I think I had the best student ministry in Clarksville. I would look forward to Wednesday nights the way I look forward to 6th period on a Friday.
Oh yeah,
Like I just loved playing we played in praise band together.
Yeah.
You and I did. I don't think you and I did.
But we jammed a little bit in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Puerto Rico.
There's a great picture of the two of you guys sitting on.
I'm
the
resting on his
stage
shoulder.
with your
Yeah.
I
head on
got a
his shoulder.
tambourine
That's
and
awesome.
he's got a
Gotta
black
find that pic.
I love your fretless acoustic.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot of fun. I was playing it yesterday.
Well, you know,
David,
pretty
one of my
chill
favorite
guitar.
memories.
fretless.
One of my favorite memories of David, and I think I have two: the frogs in the truck.
You were genuinely mad at Lucas
Who?
for that. You were genuinely mad at Lucas for not taking us to Sonic.
That was so funny. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite stories. I love that frog in the truck story.
Have we shared that on the podcast yet? That story?
We talked about it.
We
Okay.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
One of my. Oh, go ahead. I don't want to.
Well, the main one I think of when I think of David, the first thing that comes to mind is we're in Puerto Rico, and Bob Fort, who I know doesn't listen to
I know where
this.
this is going. That That was so that was the most insincere prayer. I didn't mean a word of it. I didn't mean a word I said when I had to pray with him.
So for context, we had this retired principal from Clarksville go with us on this trip.
Too. Very schooly teacher.
Very. And David insisted on calling him Mr. Fort, right?
Bob Fart.
The whole trip. Bob Fart. And then one time you said it, I think we're having dinner, 2 hours after we're supposed to have eaten because the cook, it was an interesting eating situation. And we're playing the Seinfeld board game. And I think he said, all right,
I still have that,
Mr. Fart. And Bob says, hey, David, you come talk to me.
Was that spent the day? I said something like, Fart. He said, you and I are going to have to talk.
It's the principal coming out on you.
I don't know who I was talking to, but I was just trying. I was like, great. This is going to be great.
So then what was the prayer part of that?
Me asking for forgiveness.
Oh, you had to pray with him?
He prayed to him.
He forced you to pray
to Bob
asking
Fart.
for forgiveness?
Pray to God asking for that.
Did you say Bob Fart in the prayer?
Now, although I've developed a better filter since then, now my give a crap meter has gone down, so I'd probably do it on purpose now.
Yeah. So I just remember you coming back from that conversation.
Do you have his mailing address? You should send him something.
Mr. Fart.
Yeah, just like an O that looks like an A. So you can't really tell if you're messing with him.
So uncomfortable. And y'all got a kick out of it because you knew how ridiculous it was.
Well, and you came back to the table. I think we were playing chess at this point.
Do what?
Say it again.
I think me and Drew Smith, hey Drew, we're talking at a table, and you came to join us at our table after the conversation with Mr. Fart. Mm-hmm. And we're like, David, what happened? He said, yeah, he asked you what you were doing with your life, or something like that.
Having fun. That's funny.
So
I was going to say, one of my favorite Dave stories is, I think it was when you went to camp after you graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And
chaperone.
And we had the water balloon launcher.
And I sent a girl to the ER.
And you just reared that thing back and just smacked a girl right in the face. A middle school girl.
Your wife calming me down because there was a chance we were waiting to see if she was going to be permanent.
Yeah.
And I was shaking all day long, nervous.
Those water balloon launchers are no joke. They left my whole calf black and blue one time when I was a rec team.
I pulled one back as hard as I could.
Hard as you could.
And hit Kelby Morrow in the thigh. And it was black. I remember it hit her and she just, it's like a deer had been shot in the leg. She just went down.
So many weird injuries at camp. I remember that, I think it was the first year. No, it was the first year at Linden. And one of the adults came and got me and said there was a kid crying. And I went in there. There was like a middle school boy just sobbing and in tears. And I'm like, what happened? And he got shot in the nuts with a paintball.
Oh, no.
Like, I remember that.
I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I've actually, one of my
anybody would be in tears.
coworkers was a camper of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's kind of strange now.
Were you his counselor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. So does he have fond memories of you?
There's a different side of you than
yes. He was just like, I think he went to the camp because mom made him.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah.
But still,
David, were you the one that caught the armadillo? I think it was the same year you were counselor, because I remember the girl getting hit in the eyeball with the water balloon.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one night, like a bunch of youth were just like boys, just took off through this field, and I'm hanging out with most of the adults, just hanging out by the tech stuff, and like boys were sprinting across this field, falling down on their faces, getting up, sprinting again. We're like, what are they doing? And someone yelled out, "We're going to catch an armadillo!" That's my Tennessee accent.
Levi Walker.
Yeah,
written all over.
That seems like a common thing when it comes to youth camps, because I was at a completely separate youth camp that I was on staff at when I was in high school, and kids were trying to catch an armadillo.
Also has Vince Houchasek. written all over it.
Yeah,
Ben
it sounds
Owen.
like Ben.
Or Ben.
But I remember an adult, and I think it was what's his name's dad who recently passed.
Oh, Bob Murphy. Thomas.
Bob Murphy, yeah. I think he yelled out, "They got leprosy," or something like that. What? And sure enough, we Googled it. They can carry leprosy.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan was talking about a camp. So when I was a youth pastor in Texas, we had the camp where our high schoolers were the rec team for the kids camp. And we had a guy named Floyd who would catch, I think he caught an armadillo, a possum. One time tried to catch a raccoon, but I just remember him catching the possum and he had it by the tail. And I told him, I was like, dude, put that back in the woods. And he just like kind of slung it around and just launched it into the woods like with one hand.
That was the second possum that we caught because me and him caught one in a trash can that was over by like the mess hall. And we caught it in a trash can. We took the trash can and like me and him each on one side just like heaved the possum out into the woods.
Well, before the armadillos, it was rattlesnakes. And that was, I mean, every year at that camp, there was a rattlesnake being killed. And the funny thing is Colonel Sam, which we called him, the guy who, old man that kind of ran Hillmont.
Bad Mood McGee.
Yeah, definitely.
He was like Janitor Mike. Always mad.
At 90.
But
he took one that they found and cooked it for him for the boys once. And
oh, did he?
Yeah.
They ate it?
They had him eat it. They said
Is
it was
that
good.
why y'all decided to leave there? Was him?
Wow.
It was so nostalgic.
There were a lot of, yeah, he was a part of it. I forget exactly what it was. I think
he didn't like how loud it was.
He didn't like, yeah, he was kind of pushing us to leave. And I had a conversation with him on the phone.
So,
like,
well, back in my day, we didn't need fog machines to praise
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but they're cool. So.
Back in your day, you just sing 80 verses of I Fly Away.
I just remember this conversation on the phone, and I said something to him like, well, we might just go somewhere else. And he said, sounds good with me. So we took our money and we went to Linden.
He was like, get on out.
Yeah.
Pretty sure my mom grew up going to Linden for church camp.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was called Montgomery Bell.
No. Well,
Is there
there's
two
Montgomery
different-
Bell, and then
Okay.
Linden is something.
I think she went.
Take
Well, we're
me to Camp Linden.
I killed a snake the next year at camp.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I killed a copperhead.
Ooh, good. Just as dangerous.
Yeah.
We're running low on time. And so we made a promise that at the end of this episode, we would tell the story.
I have to
behind
real
them.
quick. I told him I'd do it. Shout out to T Breeze and Mayday.
What?
T-Breeze and
T-Breeze.
Mayday.
That's all they get.
Do we know these people?
No.
Okay.
One has a mullet.
All right.
Ooh.
T-Breeze.
Do they listen or are they going to listen?
They're gonna have me send a link just for this.
Just for
episode.
this one.
Just for this.
Just for you
They'll be
guys
hooked.
because of your nicknames and a mullet.
America!
What is about to be divulged will keep you around to come back for other
Yes.
episodes.
Yes.
All right, I'm ready to hear it.
Can we guess, though, real quick, which one has the mullet?
Mhm.
Okay, T-Breeze and what?
Mayday.
Oh, Mayday.
Mayday. Yeah.
Mayday's got the mullet.
Mayday has a
Yeah.
mullet. All right, so
America!
how do we want to do? Anybody want the honors to?
Well, do we want to hear Dave's best guess?
Okay, Dave, what was your guess?
Final
Yeah.
guess.
Your final guess.
Originally, the first thing that came to mind was there's something years ago called cat facts. You could sign someone up for it, and they would get like 50 cat facts texted to them a day, just as an inconvenience. So that's all I got.
That would
Dude
just
facts.
be an inconvenience to people.
No,
That
no,
would be
no.
awesome.
Like dude facts, like a play on words, like
Yeah.
dude facts, like facts about guys. That's
Okay.
all I came up with.
Okay. Gotcha.
Still more dignified
way
than
I
the
think
truth.
it started is the ed staff, which Josh and I were a part of, would sometimes go out for lunches together. And one time we all went out for a lunch and we came back, and you know what has to happen after you eat a big, huge lunch is we all had to go. Number two.
Well, and we had established before this, when we wanted to go number two and we were just going on our own, kind of the code word to the other guys in the office was,
I'm going to go send a fax.
I'm going to go send a fax.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's some of the background. And then
And then Jared Hodges, who was the missions pastor at the time, said, "Hey, the women's restroom has like 4 stalls all next to each other." He's like, "So it was like me, Josh, and Jared, and I don't remember who else. I don't know if it was Ryan or
maybe
Grant or somebody." He's like, "How about the 4 of us just go?" And I think one of us said something about, "Yeah, we all send a fax together," and we're like, "Yeah, DudeFax."
DudeFax.
So that's the meeting.
name.
That
Yeah.
is the
That's the meaning.
origin of it.
We'd like you to know that it was a women's restroom outside of Grace Sanctuary.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then after that, we regularly took
Yeah.
DudeFaxes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So take a DudeFax.
It's fun. It's hilarious to do that because someone's going to have a fart that's super loud, and everyone else is it's going to be a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever farted while laughing, but it goes with the rhythm of your laugh.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I've laughed out some faxes due to that over the years.
kind of like farting while
And
you're running up a flight of stairs.
I loved when someone would say "nice" at any time during a DudeFax. Nice.
Well, that's
Nice.
that's where the name comes from. So
Yeah.
I don't know how many
It would
people are going to lose
oftentimes
over that.
occur after getting a slice of pizza at Sam's Club
Yeah.
Yeah.
and drinking a Yoo-hoo in the kitchen.
And we were all using Blackberries back then.
Yeah.
And so we'd message on the Blackberry
That's
messaging
more
things.
Blackberry.
And often it would be Josh. I'll say, Josh, you were the initiator, at least when I was there. And it'd be like, "DudeFax?" ? And I'll just be like, "All right." And I would love it when the secretaries would be like, "Where are you guys going?" I'm like, well,
Nowhere.
Oh man.
I know Elizabeth knew. She
Oh yeah.
was like,
She would take her leg off and shake it at us.
Oh gosh.
Harley, hey,
Like
you want to open that door? Just let him out.
Those 2 or 3 years that Grant lived here, even though we haven't kept up over the years, I like reminisce on it all the time. That was
some fun moments.
Just a fun time of life, like age 14 to college. I hated college. Hated it.
David, do you know, do they know? Remember, we went to the McDonald's drive-thru? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Should this be recorded?
I just wanted to make sure that he knows what I'm talking about. That was so fun.
I don't care. Say it, whatever it is.
I think you've shared this with us, Grant.
Have I?
I
Yeah,
think
we were
so.
in the drive-thru, and David, I think you were in the Lucas's truck in the back of it at Camp Linden. You were a counselor, so we went out for like, I don't know, dollar menu items or something.
It was Sonic.
And was it Sonic? Because it's a drive-thru, and David hops out of the truck. I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I gotta pee." He just hops behind the truck in the drive-thru. There's no one behind us. I don't think anyone can see it, but I'm
That's
stressing.
common in the South.
Yeah.
If you see someone
And I was like,
pull
"What's he
over
gonna
on the
do?"
interstate with one door open,
That's exactly what's
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
Especially in that area. Like Linden is not necessarily in a well-populated
I mean, they
area.
may have just gotten indoor plumbing like a year or 2 before that.
Somebody was getting a Sonic surprise.
y'all remember
Made
me
slush.
getting into it with a lifeguard at Camp Linden?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I can't. I think I refused to wear a life jacket in the river, and I had to like go apologize to him. I feel like I had to apologize.
Did you have to pray
someone
with him too?
at every
I, did,
single.
I was
event
thinking
on
when we
it.
were playing Watermelon Battle Royale.
I don't even remember that.
We put the Crisco on the
Oh,
watermelon
yeah.
in the pool,
That was hilarious.
but then it busted.
That was it was such a
That
great.
may have been the last year we were at Linden.
There's still pictures of me that show up because I believe we did that for the like staff day, like training day.
Mhm.
We did that like as a team building exercise.
Yes.
And I was playing with the students. That was a fun time.
Those were good times. And, you know, the name, it is what it is, but it really does like call back to where we all kind of got to know each other and really built good relationships
bathroom.
with each other
On the
and a
toilet.
women's bathroom. And, but those were good years and they have led to the podcast even now. So we're about to wrap up. DudeFax, guys. Anybody in?
Let's go.
We'll have to go
I
find
carry
Sounds like you got enough room.
Bridget, we're so sorry for what you're about to smell.
Woods out
Man, we're so thankful for all of you. So those of you guys that have listened from the beginning, you are part of the family. We love y'all. Thank you so much. And if you're new, man, we're glad that you're a part as well. Hope you've enjoyed this time. We will be back to normal kind of topic conversation in episode 53.
Thank y'all for
That's
giving
crazy.
me the easy topic.
Yeah,
I
you're
really did
welcome.
not want to have to think too hard.
Well, we'll
You
bring
wanna
you
see my
back
birthday
for,
suit?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm just glad you're not in a
The
bad
pickle has his birthday suit on.
Always.
No.
Anytime I've seen Grant's pickle, it's been in his birthday suit.
Magnificent.
A little too far across the line.
How about we ask the DudeFax listeners to name Grant's pickle?
Oh, we do need a name.
Yeah. Drop your names in the comments.
Well, I think we should do like drop your name suggestions, and then we'll do like a poll.
Yeah.
On like the best one.
I'm dropping Dickie. That's mine.
Dickie.
Okay.
Purvis.
Dicky the Picky. Purvis the Pickle.
So you can't choose any of those two, right? We've already got 2 on the board. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Let us know your name ideas for the pickle, and we will see you next time. DudeFax out.
Flashlight.
Excellent!